and you ask that he let you plead out 5 to 40, 700 grams, but less than a key. So the jury understands what you mean. What is 5 to 40? 5 years to 40 years. What is 700 grams and less than a key? 700 grams and less than a key of heroin, right? Yeah. And the significance there is that once it goes above a key, it's mandatory jail time, right? It's mandatory jail time like that. It's 5 to 40 right now. That's mandatory. Excellent point. But it's a mandatory 10 if it's over a key, right? Yeah. And you're trying to get underneath that 10, right? Yeah. So for you, when you're asking for 5 to 40, what you're really hoping is something between 5 and 10, right? Between 5 to 40. But you want it to be less than 10 because you don't want to take a key, and that's why you don't want that 10-year mandatory minimum, right? I just told them I want to plead out to 5 to 40, and whatever guidelines it fall under, that's what it fall under. Okay. And the last thing, I want to help Mark St. Pierre out on the time cut. Who is Mark St. Pierre? That's a white man who was scared in jail, who ain't supposed to be in jail. And I feel as though what I'm going to give the government is a lot of information, and I really ain't need it. So I read books, and the government people help out all the time. So I'm thinking that, that he can get out. So at this point, you're already familiar with the idea of cooperation. 5K, Rule 35, third-party cooperation. That's what you're talking about there, right? Yeah. I talk to like 85% of the dudes they tell. So I talk to all kind of dudes. I just listen to what they be talking about, and that's what it is. And you were educating yourself, right? About the law, about this new federal law that you're in, right? Yeah. And you read this book, right? Busted by the Feds, right? Yeah. Because you wanted to know how to play this game, right? That's a law book. Okay. Well, just explain to the jury what this is. This is a jailhouse law book, right? About navigating federal prosecution, right? No, that's a law book that you buy from Barnes and Noble. Yeah, but it's for inmates who are facing federal charges, right? Yeah. Okay. Busted by the Feds, we agree on that, right? So this is a book that you were using to educate yourself about how to navigate this new federal system, the 5K game, Rule 35, right? Everybody who in jail read that same book. Okay. And so based on all of that education that you were giving yourself, you want on paper 5 to 40 and help Mark St. Pierre. But again, Mark St. Pierre, are you shaking Mark St. Pierre down for money in order to get this? I don't play on a week. Mark St. Pierre, he weak. I don't play on a week. That's just what I did. I try to help him out. Is the St. Pierre that works at the St. Charles Parish Jail, is that from a different family, or are they kin to Mark St. Pierre? I don't know his family. You don't know. And Mark St. Pierre gives you money though, right? He what? Mark St. Pierre gives you money, right? Do he give me money? He gives you money, right? What you mean give me money? Mark St. Pierre puts money on your books at St. Charles Parish Jail, right? He gave me $25 before. Okay. And his wife puts money on your books, right? No. His wife came one day and put $25 on my books. That's just from looking out for him, because he was on PC one day and he was scared to come on the dorm. That's when I met him. And I told him he could get out the dorm. Ain't nobody gonna mess with him. The jail ain't like that, so just come on out there. And he looked out for me. He looked out for you. So he did you favors? Yeah, he done me that favor. So you're saying that once he gave you $25, I don't know. He just look out for me when he can. It ain't nothing about no. He don't just give me no money like that. He just do it on the strength because, one thing, I looked out for him. I made sure he's straight. Like, St. Pierre was a good dude. He ain't never been in jail before. So when he been around black people like that, he spook out. And I just took him under my wing to make sure he's straight. And when you take care of people, people are going to take care of you the same way. Okay. So you asked for Mark St. Pierre to give you a chart. You asked for Mark St. Pierre's time to be reduced, and Mark St. Pierre does you favors, including putting money on your books. Mark St. Pierre ain't do that behind that. I asked you a question. The answer is yes, right. You asked for Mark St. Pierre's sentence to be reduced with third-party cooperation, and Mark St. Pierre, who you described as weak white inmate, he voluntarily put money on your books. That's your testimony, right? I just told you that he didn't put no money on my books behind no third-party cooperation. He put money on my books because I helped him out. Judge, I'd ask you to advise the witness if I'm asking a yes or no question where there's clearly a yes or no answer. Simply answer the question. I think he answered it, counsel. So how much money did Mark St. Pierre give you over the course? How long were you locked up with Mark St. Pierre? Probably a year. Over that time, how many times did Mark St. Pierre or his family members put money on your books? I don't know. It ain't over no $100 or nothing like that. Okay. What other kind of favors did they do for you? He ain't do no favors like that for me. I don't remember St. Pierre doing nothing for me. Okay. So your testimony is that your effort to get Mark St. Pierre's time reduced was just out of the goodness of your heart? No. I am thinking about the future. See, what it is, Mark St. Pierre, he's a businessman. So if he get home, and by me telling when I get home, he can look out for me and give me a job. Okay, so you're networking. Yes, that's the best thing. You think I want to go home and get killed? No, I'm trying to network to do the right thing. Okay, so you were asking that Mark St. Pierre's time is reduced so that in the future he would help you? What you said? You're asking that his time be reduced so that in the future he can help you? Yeah. And you say, I just want everything on paper. And what do you mean by that? I want everything in black and white. I ain't trying to get f***ed over. So you want a plea agreement that says, Mark St. Pierre, 5-40 on this side, and your cooperation on this side, and it's all in writing. You know what you're doing to get, and that's it, right? This is what I'm saying. A contract. You got to sign a contract. You're going to know what it is. I am not about to just expose everything I got and don't know what I'm getting or, what's going to happen or nothing like that. I am not knowing that how the plea agreement worked because I never synced the plea agreement like that. I'm just trying to go along with my negotiation. I'm trying to negotiate with how I negotiate. I feel as though it ain't nothing wrong with asking the government like, this is what I want. This is what I want. Okay. And in the end, right, you wouldn't sign a plea agreement where you didn't know what you were going to get, right? What you said? You wouldn't sign a plea agreement where you didn't know what you were going to get, right? I signed it just now. I don't know what I'm going to get. It's up to the judge to give me a time cut and up to the prosecutor to file a motion. So I don't know how this is going to go. It's just a chance that I'm taking. Okay. So, and then who is this letter addressed to? What you said? Who did you write this letter to? To Maurice. To Maurice. And you're on a first name basis with Maurice, but for the sake of the jury, it's Maurice Landrew, right? Yeah, that's his whole name. And he is a high ranking person at the United States Attorney's Office, right? Yeah. And he was essentially the person in charge of the prosecution in your case, right? Yeah. And he is the brother of the mayor, right? Yeah. And he is the brother of a former United States senator, right? Don't know about that. You don't know about that. But he is a big guy in this new federal world that you're in, right? Yeah. So, you're writing him directly. You and the top guy are communicating directly, right? You see the letter that you can show where you see the envelope. I wrote to Poydras Street. I don't got his true address. That's his building, I guess. I don't know. Well, eventually you have his direct number, right? But at this point, you're just shooting it out there, right? No. Listen, I don't got Maurice's cell phone number. I got Maurice's number, the number that people call here or wherever he at. I don't know where he at. That's the number that everybody got. It's fair to say that now when you call Maurice Landrew, he answers the phone, right? It ain't for free. It ain't for free. And you and Maurice have talked 100 times? Me and Maurice talked a lot. Okay. If Mr. Landrew said at one point that he sees you more often than he sees his own children, would that seem true to you? Objection. Objection sustained. And if I show you a picture of Maurice Landrew, would you be able to recognize him? Yeah. Objection to relevance. We've seen. I'm going to allow it. I'm going to allow it. Thank you, Judge. Can you identify the person in that picture? That's Maurice. Thank you. I'm going to mark this eventually as Lewis Exhibit L and offer, file, and introduce it into the record in this matter. I'll keep it up here for now, though. Any objection? Same objection. Relevance. All right, that's fine. Objection overruled. Okay, so wait, hold on. Let Evans Lewis L be admitted into evidence. Thank you, Judge.